The Oklahoma Sooners got some good news ahead of Saturday's game on the injury front, and that should have Oklahoma fans feeling really confident for this weekend.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Sooner Nation? Welcome to Locked On Sooners, and thank you for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Mazda. Like our players, we sweat every detail because when you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward. Mazda, move and be moved. I'm John Williams of Sooners Wire and USA Today Sports. He's Jay Smith of Unfair Sports. And look at this swag. We did not plan this. We showed up in the green room ready to go, and Jay and I were both wearing the same shirt. It's burger time, y'all.
John wasn't planning it. I was looking in his mirror window while he was getting dressed and actually just kind of stole his idea. But yeah, we'll say that.
Yeah. No, dude. Listen, Jerry Kanik, he's been off to a great start this season, and wanted to support the vibes, man. I was talking to my wife about it because she saw the shirt. She's like, "What's the story? Why?" I'm like, well, here's the story. Basically, program guy, easy to root for, got to support the dude. And also, burger's pretty awesome too. So, Jay, we got some good news on the injury front after the initial availability report came out showing 3 starters along the offensive line as questionable. Those guys, Michael Fasusi, Jake Michla, and Fabechi Wiwu, were listed as probable on Thursday evening.
Yeah, it's kind of as we talked about and kind of expected that the availability was going to look a lot better. Like, whoops, because we both keep clicking at the same time. No, but the expectation was Oklahoma was going to put the names on the sheet just to have them on there. I feel like there's a lot of gamesmanship in this. Now, granted, I do know that Waywu Fasusi as well as Michla dealt with a little something over the last 2 weeks. Fasusi had a little bit of I think he kind of a slight sprain to his ankle against Michigan, and he came out at the end of that where Logan Howland came in, and he looked pretty good to wrap up the last 9 snaps on that drive. Michla rolled up a little bit in the Temple game at the end and came out, and then Waywu kind of dealt with something similar in that Temple game. And so we kind of was wondering if they were going to be able to play or not. But when I saw them initially going to our question ball, I was like, oh yeah, this gamesmanship. Those dudes will be probable by tomorrow. And then probably at the end of the week, they'll be off the injured list. So I know that they have been doing everything they're supposed to get their bodies ready for this game. This is a huge game. It's huge. The first one in conference play. You've already you have lost 3 players that you really were hoping going to play this season in Sexton, Taylor, as well, Jacob Sexton, Jake Taylor, as well as Troy Everett having that knee injury. And so now you're digging into that 10 total, right? We talked about this beginning of the season. You're comfortable with 10 players playing right now. And so now you're in that 7 group because the 3 are gone. And so I expect them to play. I think they'll be healthy enough because everybody's for the most part banged up, but I think we'll be just fine on the offensive line.
Yeah. Part of the reason you left Michael Fasusi out of the game against Temple is because you wanted him healed up and ready for this game. Yep. You have Jake Michla, you got Fabechi Wiwu. Wiwu is a tough dude. He played all 13 games for you last year, hasn't missed a start for Oklahoma. I think that streak continues this week against Auburn. And then Jake Michla, I mean, he's proven that he's a dude that can get out there and play ball as well. And the good news is after you play Auburn, you have a bye week and you have Kent State before you have Texas. So it's a great opportunity for anybody that's got something lingering coming out of the Auburn game to get a full week of rest during the bye week. And then even if you wanted to take it easy with them, give them some light stuff during the Kent State week, you can do that as well, saving them and making sure that they're fully ready to go for Texas. So it's exciting. You're going to have the offensive line together that you had against Michigan.
Yeah.
It was a good performance, especially in the pass protection system that Bill Bedenbaugh put together, they had a really great performance against Michigan. I thought there were some really good things that Torrey Blaylock did at times. Javonte Barnes had some good runs in that game. So this is the group of 5 that you want to have running out there in these big moments. And this is the time. You've got to get off to a really good start against Auburn. You got to get off to a good start in SEC play if you want to go and contend this year. This is a huge game for Oklahoma, for Auburn as well. You got to have this one, and having your offensive line back together from week 2, absolutely huge.
Yeah, and you also still have Logan Howland. You have EPL, so you got Eddie Pierre-Louis still back there, and you also got Ryan Fogier, who's ready to play as well. So you've got 3 dudes that are ready to go out there and actually go. I mean, Fogier did pretty solid when he played against Temple. You know, he was okay in the first game against Illinois State. You could tell he was missing some spots and just trying to get, used to it as playing a guard, and especially as big as he is. Fogier, if I'm correct, he's about 330 right now. So he got big.
He got bulked
pretty
up, yeah.
fast. And Gabe Eichert, from Oklahoma Breakdown, was mentioning that he thinks that he may have gotten too big a little too fast. So it's kind of slowed him down. So now he's going to have to trim it up. But the good thing is, with you being in season, is a lot of running and a lot of moving. We'll probably see some of those pounds drop. You usually lose weight throughout the season. And so for him, I can see him getting some more run just to, give some breaks and stuff. But he's also really solid in the run fits. And so it's funny, I was talking to a buddy of mine overall on his channel, The War Rapport, was talking about the game or whatnot. And his observation is that Oklahoma has struggled in run blocking to start the game, but they get stronger and better as the game progresses. Like they get into the rhythm of the game, then you start to notice that bigger runs start to happen and then they start to break through. I mean, we saw that in that Michigan game when we had that 8 minutes eating that clock up.
Yep.
And it was really a lot of runs. Like you saw a lot of runs. Javonte Barnes was cutting in, like you mentioned before. Torrey Blaylock was getting in, Xavier Robinson. And so I'm sensing that in a similar situation, it'll probably be like that in this Auburn game. Even like last year, you'll get some runs or whatnot, but as the game progresses, we'll wear them down. This is what Brent Venables built this team for, is to wear down other teams to where when he gets to the 3rd and 4th quarter, you're the only ones left standing.
Yeah, and I think some of it also is that game against Michigan. That was the first time that group had played together.
Yeah,
in a game. The week before, you had 4 of the 5 that were different starters in the week before against Illinois State. And then again, this past week against Temple, you had a very different group. I mean, it was mostly the same group, except you had Michael Fasusi out and you had Logan Howland and Luke Baklenko playing at left tackle. So, it's making sure that you have consistent chemistry and consistent guys playing together so that you can continue to get better. And I think they will. They'll continue to get better as a run blocking unit. We already saw them do some better things against Temple than they did even week 1 against Illinois State. So I think progression is happening. Now it's a matter of, can they get off to a good start in the run game against a good run defense for Auburn. The other important one to note here on this injury report, Jay, is Marvin Jones Jr. He's listed as questionable. He's been questionable on the initial, and he was questionable on the Thursday update as well. Any concern that Marvin Jones Jr. is not going to be able to go, Jay?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I mean, I think he'll play in this game. It feels like, I think he's just been dealing with similar stuff he's dealt with, this entire camp. I think BV mentioned that he had dealt with a little bit of an injury at some parts of fall camp, but has been playing through some things and he's been productive. And so I expect him to continue to be productive as he's dealing with whatever little ailment it is. Yeah, I think I'm not even going to say it's little. I'm not going to downplay it because I think he's dealing with a little something, but I think he will play in this game and he's going to show up. I mean, this is I'll put it this way. This is what Robert Spears Jennings said to us at SEC Media Days. This is a money game, baby. You're going to have NFL scouts everywhere. Michigan was a money game. This is a money game. Scouts going to be everywhere watching this one. And so this is a perfect opportunity for, I was actually talking to my boy Dukes about this over on Dukes the Scoop not too long ago, that the DBs are going to be really watched by NFL scouts because Eric Singleton is considered one of the best in the country. Cam Coleman is considered one of the best in the country. Malcolm Simmons is an emerging player because he's been playing basically while Singleton has been out. These emerging players our secondary now can prove themselves. If they're able to make it hard for them to really get anything, money game. Scouts going to be like, yep, that dude is NFL ready. And so Gentry's got an opportunity to do that because he ain't even on the list no more.
Mm-hmm.
John, did you notice that? He ain't on there. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I did notice that. I mentioned that on the initial injury update that I recorded for Thursday morning, and that's huge, absolutely huge. So if Marvin Jones Jr. is able to go, feel great about Oklahoma's defensive line. I feel great about it, even if he's not or if he's limited, because you're so good in the middle that you're making everything difficult for everything else around him. Speaking of cornerbacks, we got Friday fan feelings, and some Oklahoma fans are excited to see what Oklahoma's cornerbacks and defensive back group looks like against this really talented wide receiver room. We'll discuss coming up next. You're on Locked On Sooners. This episode is brought to you by Mazda's moving the game forward for those who believe it's not just about playing the game. It's about redefining it. There are moments that do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, move culture, and keep moving the game forward. This week's moment that moved the game forward, Jaren Kanik's performance against Temple. He has been great every single week. He's number one on the Oklahoma Sooners in receiving yards. He's top 10 in the SEC in receiving yards as well. And I think he's going to be moving the game forward this week by scoring his first touchdown at tight end for the Oklahoma Sooners. Jaren Kanik is about to have a big week. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Mazda, move and be moved. Today's episode is also brought to you by Wayfair. The weather's cooling down, the days are getting shorter, and that has me wanting to make my home feel even cozier, especially that back porch area. Love being on the back porch when the fall temperatures come in, where I can sit outside with my wife and we can just enjoy a nice hot cup of coffee first thing in the morning, or a nice cup of tea late in the evening, or maybe a little something else. Wayfair is the place to go to help cozify your space this fall. Wayfair has everything you need to set the mood for the season, whether it's comfy recliners, warm bedding, autumn decor, or even an espresso machine so you can make your favorite latte at home. We've been looking for bedside tables and we've been checking out Wayfair, and they've got great options to, again, cozify our room, make our space a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more organized as well. And now is the perfect time to set up your home for fall so you can enjoy the cozy nights in with family and friends. So cozify your space with Wayfair's curated collection of easy, affordable fall updates, from comfy recliners to cozy bedding and autumn decor. You'll find it all for way less at wayfair.com. That's Wayfair.com. Wayfair, every style, every home at wayfair.com. Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jay, we've got Friday fan feels ahead of week 4. This is what Oklahoma fans are feeling about this game against the Auburn Tigers. Long Raider Knight says this is a definite put up or shut up game. Either show us you're going to compete at a high level this season, or if they lose, it's going to go bad in conference play.
I think that's a little far-fetched. I'm going to be honest. I think Auburn may be a little bit better than people think, but at the same time, I definitely agree with the first part, the beginning sentiment of this, because it is. Just like I said in the last segment, this is a money game, baby. This is a game where scouts are going to be watching players. They're going to be looking for who, NFL scouts were here like crazy for the Michigan game. And I expect more to be, well, at least as many to be at this one, because there's NFL prospects on both teams. And so now they're trying to figure out, all right, who's going to invite to the Senior Bowl, who's going to be ones we're going to, get to the draft and their day 1, day 2, etc. So this is a put up or shut up game. This is a game where Oklahoma has to go out there and show and exert their dominance up front. We got to continue to fight for our ownership of the state of Alabama. We got to maintain that peace. We got to maintain that land. We got to make sure that land stays here. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. We need to go ahead and take that. Make sure that we ain't allowing Alabama to take not one piece of it. We own that state, and we're going to keep owning it.
Yeah. Sweet home Oklahoma. That's our song now. We own that song. That's ours.
Yes, we're changing it from Alabama to Oklahoma. Why? Because we own the state right now.
Own it. No, it is a put up or shut up game. And it's not just because of NFL prospects. It's because if you have aspirations of contending in the SEC or contending for a college football playoff berth, you have to win home games. You have to win home games against top 25 opponents. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If you're Brent Venables, you got to get this one. There are a lot of landmines on your schedule. The roadmap to the college football playoff, to an SEC championship berth, is littered with potholes as well. You've got to get this one. Every game is a must win. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's a must win, because every game is a must win, right? Yep. But you've got to have this one. This is one where you are the better defense. You have an offense that, to me, is the better offense. You're considered the better team. You're the favorite going into it. You've got the more experienced quarterback, the more productive quarterback as well. You've got I think it all favors Oklahoma. Yes. And so now you just got to go win the game.
Just do it, Nike.
Just do it, Nike. Air Jordan also. Midland Sooner says, way more confident than at any point for any game last year. Excited to see our corners actually put to a real test. Potentially. I want to know they are legit before Ole Miss. You could say Ole Miss before you get to Texas, before you play Alabama, before you play. I mean, obviously, Ole Miss is that next one.
It's right after Texas. South Carolina.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know what to make of South Carolina, but I don't know what to make of Texas. But Texas is going to be a big test. Ole Miss is going to be a big test. Tennessee, Alabama, like your corners are going to be put to a test. Are they for real? You're going to find out a little bit this week.
Yeah, I think so too. And kind of like we mentioned last segment, with Eric Singleton, Malcolm Simmons, as well as Cam Coleman, that three-headed monster right now that Auburn has, we're gonna be tested as we're throwing it. Was it Horatio Fields? He's also one that's going to be testing the Sooners or whatnot. That's the three that's got touchdowns: Singleton, Coleman, and Fields. And so they're gonna at some point gonna figure out they're gonna have to throw the ball. And I think that's actually what Brent Venables wants. Of course, you don't want this team running for 300 yards like they did against Baylor. You want this team to not run 400 yards at all if you can avoid it. Yep. But you may want, if you can keep them under 150, I think that's successful, because Jeremiah Cobb is a really solid running back, and Damari Alston is supposed to be back too.
Yep.
We'll see what happens, but Cobb has been he's got 300 yards rushing in the first 3 games total, right? So you want to make sure that you're not allowing him or Jackson Arnold to really go off. Force them to get rid of the ball a lot faster than they want to. This game needs to be played, and we'll talk about it next segment more, but this needs to be played similar to the way we play Michigan as well as the way we play Alabama.
Yeah, if Hugh Freeze is going to try and do anything to help Jackson Arnold, it's going to be to get the ball out of his hands quickly, try to use the screen game a little bit in the passing concepts. I think they're going to want to try to run it. They're going to want to muck it up, make it a really slowed down game, trying to keep John Mateer and the passing attack off the field as much as possible, and really try to wear down Oklahoma's defense. The problem is Oklahoma can send waves of defenders at you because they're deep, and they've got a lot of talent that runs into that 2 and 3 deep, that they can play a lot of guys. But back to the corners, I mean, this is it. Like, this is your first opportunity to go and make a statement. Cortland Guillory, like, this is the first big time matchup that you're going to have in your college career, whether you're lined up across from Cam Coleman or you're lined up across from Eric Singleton. This isn't going to tell the whole story for what your Oklahoma or football career is going to be, but this is the first opportunity to write the first page or the first chapter in that story. What's it going to look like? How are you going to bounce back if you do give up a big play? If you do give up a catch in a contested situation, how do you bounce back? Gentry Williams, Jacoby, Kendall Dolby, veterans on this team, you've got to lead the way. You've got to be productive, and you got to be competitive as well. You know, this is one of those games where so many people are focusing on Jackson Arnold and his abilities as a passer. The wide receivers that Auburn has, they're good enough to make Jackson right, even if he's been wrong. Like, even if he threw the wrong ball, if he made the wrong read, they are good enough to make him right. Yep. The question is going to be, will he throw it into coverage? Will he take a chance? Will he risk the ball? And if he doesn't, then that plays right into Oklahoma's hands, because he's going to hold on to the ball too long, and Oklahoma's pass rush is going to get there. If he does, it's going to be up to the corners and the safeties and the linebackers to make some competitive plays out there in coverage.
With you on that. And that's the thing that I have the most, if I have concerns in this game, is that these receivers are going to make some like catches that you can be like, come on, man. Like how? And it's not even going to be because the DBs did anything bad. The DBs going to be blanketed all over them and somehow they catch it. Kind of like Donovan McCulley did on RSJ. He literally caught it on the back of his head.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so what else are you supposed
to
do?
Dude. Yeah,
exactly. Had the helmet in the way, had your arm in the way, and he just somehow he found a way to stick them on it and catch it. That's what we got to make sure that we don't allow them to do, and we got to force bad passes in this game.
Right. Get pressure on Arnold, make him beat you. We'll see what happens. Finally here, not so clever Trevor says, hungry, very hungry. Boomer Sooner, Trevor. Thank you for participating, man. Yeah, I think we're all
like the spoon of Zeke. We're going to be eating.
Like, I think everybody looks back to last year's SEC opener and remembers just what a dud. Like, there's so much anticipation, so much build, so much excitement. And then the team just went in large part to Jackson Arnold's 3 first-half turnovers. If Oklahoma goes out and plays a clean game, they win this game. Even if they don't play a clean game, I still think they can win this game.
Yeah, I think so too. We're going to need to cause turnovers, though. That's going to be the most important thing in this one. Now, we'll control a lot of the clock, but we need turnovers. And we can do it. I know we can.
I think we can. All right, we'll talk some keys of the game. We'll give you our final game predictions. I hope you've enjoyed all the content this week. We've had crossovers. We've had the round tables. There will be another SEC live reaction show on Sunday that you're going to want to tune in for as the group reacts to everything that happens on Saturday. They do it fresh Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Time, so make sure you're tuned in for that. We'll talk more Oklahoma Auburn coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
This episode is brought to you by Square. Your favorite neighborhood spot runs on Square. There are certain businesses that truly make the neighborhood feel like home. Whether it's the local sports bar packed on game days, a coffee shop that knows your order by heart, or the corner deli that's been serving your community for decades. These are places that bring people together. When neighborhood businesses thrive, the whole neighborhood thrives. Think about it. I spent some time over at the Oklahoma City Zoo Amphitheater, especially at the merchandise area, picking up some stuff after going to a show. I love spending my money at those local businesses because spending money there doesn't just support the business, it supports the people behind it and the community around it. I want to make sure that my community flourishes, so I always go check them out, and Square is always a part of that. So Square is a proud partner of more than 4 million neighborhood businesses around the world. You can go to square.com/go/locked-on-college to learn more. But before you do, go support your favorite neighborhood spot. You'll be happy you did. Square, see you in the neighborhood. It's almost this weekend. Time to look back and crown this week's MVP. Who delivered? Powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. So let's break it down. Of course, we've got to talk about Tory Blaylock. For the Sooners, delivered in a big way in that game, especially when he ran that nice, 20-yard touchdown. That was huge. You need to get those type of runs. And when the pressure was on, Tory Blaylock was like, I got this. Put these boys on my back. So he came through. No hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, his performance really isn't a fluke. Tory has become that dude. He is on a streak. So, and just like Tory Blaylock delivered for the Sooners, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays. With DoorDash Streaks, you can save every Saturday you order, stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. I love free money. Order this Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. Promo period through November 18th.
Once again, thanks for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there. Tune in and subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. So, Jay, just as we go into Saturday, what is your kind of overarching feeling about Oklahoma heading into this game?
I think the big thing for me is how we strategically go in here and we force Auburn to play us similarly to the way that we forced Alabama and Michigan to conform to us. Honestly, even like Missouri before like the last 2 minutes of the game. This
when
game
Drew
should
Pine
be
decided he was an all-pro quarterback all of a sudden.
bro. I don't even want. We were hashing all of
Put
this.
that guy in the college
I'm
football Hall
bleeding
of Fame
again. You just
simply
picked
for
the
those
scab,
2
John.
minutes.
John, why are you picking my scabs? That's rude.
sorry.
I'm bleeding now.
He had
Now
himself
my
an Eli
burger
Manning
shirt's
moment.
messed up. You've ruined my burger shirt. Thank you. Now I'm bleeding all over the place. And that's what it is.
Sorry.
That was a scab. But you're right. We do need to, we got to go into this game with the mindset of we can't let them score. Like, people have asked me my scores and stuff. I'm sticking to my crazy score that we had from the crossover. I'm thinking 25-9.
Yep.
And I'm thinking that we ain't going to let no touchdowns happen. It's going to be field goal after field goal because, unfortunately, our quarterback likes to take risks. One of those might be a tip that ends up leading into a field goal, which is okay as long as that's it and we go back and score. So I kind of anticipate that in this game, the push is going to be, it's going to be a lot of clock burn because it's going to be a lot of running, but we're also going to make sure that Auburn is forced to play the game that they don't want to play, which is the way that we did Alabama. I'm expecting the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm expecting that actually Oklahoma is going to run the ball well, and they're going to run it early and often. Torrey Blaylock is going to get off to a really good start, and it's going to take Auburn by surprise. The speed that he's got working towards the outside, that's going to open things up. They've been setting a lot of this up with some of the pop pass, the jet sweep stuff to Isaiah Satania and Deion Burks. We saw how the counter game is going to play for Oklahoma. It's going to work out well where they're going to have that jet sweep coming across and they're going to be so focused on that. And Torrey's going to take the handoff going the other direction and have running room. He's been really good to start his season. I think this is going to be one of those games that we look at him like he's a star. Like, he's a star in the making that has an opportunity to go down as one of Oklahoma's best. I think run game, the run blocking gets off to a good start. They get off to a strong start. They take the challenge that Auburn is going to pose and they exceed expectations. And that's going to help set John Mateer up for another big day. I think whether he goes over 300 passing yards, I think he's going to have another day where he's approaching or exceeds 300 total yards rushing and passing in this one. And we've seen what he can do when Ben Arbuckle puts the game on his shoulders, and he's going to thrive once again.
All right, great. I like that. Makes me feel good. So, John, this is what I need from you right now. I need you to give me, you're going to give me 2 absurd predictions for this game. I want you to go ridiculous.
Okay.
Now, I don't want you to say we're going to throw for 1,000 yards. Let's be realistic in some capacity. But I want you to give me 2 good predictions. We're going to clip this, and I want the people to hear it.
Okay,
What
so
you
I
got
was gonna come on here and say that Jaren Kanik's gonna get his first touchdown of the season, but I'm gonna say, because we got vibes going, that we're gonna get 2 Jaren Kanik touchdowns.
Boom.
He's gonna continue to have big numbers in the receiving yardage game, but he's gonna score twice for Oklahoma. And
that's kind of a weakness that Auburn showed against Baylor. Michael Trigg was out there catching them balls. I'm agreeing with you. I think Kanik gets 100 yards. I think he gets 2 touchdowns just because they're not going to be able to stop him. I think that Torrey Blaylock finishes the game with 100 yards rushing. And I actually think that John Mateer finishes 300 and 100. I'm here for all the ridiculousnesses in this game.
Let's go.
It's going to be spread out with the wide receiver room. And I think that the one player that emerges outside of Jaren Kanik, Zion Kearney. I think this is the game where he finally pops and we just have the youth movement going at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean, great way to attack an Auburn defense that's really good up front. Spread them out. And you've got the quarterback that you can actually play the spread game with. Auburn doesn't have that. Nope. Again, I believe that Jackson has all the tools. I just don't know if he's the guy that you want throwing 40 times just yet. He's got to prove that to me still.
I had somebody say to me that he felt like Jackson Arnold was like a light version of John Mateer.
He is.
And he really is.
He's
when
a
he
less
said that, I was like, you're right.
He's a less confident and a more indecisive version of John Mateer.
Yeah. Yeah. A little bit thinner. If he puts a little bit more weight on, which
not
technically he's got the weight. He needs the thickness as far as the muscle go. But no, I totally agree. I think he is a light version. I think that the way Mateer plays, Jackson Arnold had the confidence and learned the confidence. he could be John Mateer and maybe a little bit more.
Had he decided
100%.
to stick around for a year?
Yeah. Hey, if Auburn fans take care of him,
yeah,
he should come back next season, and I think he'd have a really good year next year.
I need my guy though to get in the weight room and thicken those legs up a little bit. If that's the way he wants to play, dude's got to
squat 550, Bubba.
You got to find yourself some Jalen Hurts legs, some John Mateer legs. If you want to be the running quarterback, Tim Tebow legs, because you can't run the ball 16, 20 times if you don't got good legs. Now, he's shown that he's capable of doing that, but to do it over the course of a season, that's a different story. I'm still sticking with my 31-17 Oklahoma win because I just feel like Oklahoma's the better offense. Oklahoma's the better defense. Where Auburn has been successful is Oklahoma's strength on defense, and that's in the run game. Oklahoma's run defense is good. I don't care who it's been against. They were really good last year. They're better this year because Dominic Williams is better. Grayson Halton is better. Jaden Jackson is better. David Stone is better. Your defensive ends, you have a more complete unit. And I think you're still really good at linebacker, even though you lost Danny Stutzman. That's the true. Emergence of Samuel Masigo, the improvement with Kip Lewis, the improvement with Kobe McKenzie. Your linebacker room is really good as well. So I think that they're just a better run defense than what they were even last year. And on the flip side of things, where Auburn struggles, Oklahoma has thrived in the passing game so far. You're going to get big games out of somebody in the passing game. It's been a different guy each week leading Oklahoma Sooners in receiving yards. It could be Jaren Kanak this week if Jay's prediction is right. And I would not be surprised if that's the case. But you've had Keontez Lewis, you've had Deion Burks, you've had Isaiah Satania all lead Oklahoma in receiving yards. And this week it could be another person. And I think they're going to have a game, somebody with a big yardage game in this one.
Me too. I think we're going to have a big wide receiver game, a big tight. I think that Sawyer Robertson threw for 400 yards. I think we can get close to that.
Yeah. And I don't necessarily need him to throw for 400 yards. I just go win the game, most importantly. But if you do it because you're throwing it, because they can win in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, there's so many ways to do it.
You know, whether it's the screen game with Isaiah Satania, whether it's the pop pass game with Satania or Burks, whether it's in the short part of the field with Jaren Kanak, catching and running, or down in the intermediate over the middle. Like, they can win in so many ways that's what makes them difficult to stop, is because it's not just hey, we're running a bunch of comeback routes, we're running a bunch of slants. They've got a big passing playbook that they can pull from, but they don't have to throw it down the field to win and to gain yards. They can throw it in the short area, and they got the guys like Burks and Satania that can win after the catch and pick up yards. So I just think it just sets up for Oklahoma to have a significant win in this one.
Me too. I think Oklahoma has a very good chance of doing that as well. I think that we've got the horses for it.
Yeah.
We just got to go out there and do it.
Absolutely. They've got to believe that they can do it, because everybody else believes they can do it. Now it's time to go show it. It's put up or shut up time. Go do it.
Shut up.
Yep. And thankfully, listen, I think as important as any of that, this team, what I've seen from them so far through 3 games, they are a workman-like team.
They really are.
They are about their business. They're not showing a lot of flash. It was Gabe Eichert on the In the Weeds show with him and Teddy talking about one of Torrey Blaylock's touchdowns and how he scored and he just handed the ball to the ref. Like, when was the last time you saw a running back do that? Like, just score and hand the ball to the ref.
It's been a while.
I'm cool with it. Like, I don't need to see a celebration out of everybody, but that just, to me, helps reflect that they're just about the business. They're just going to go play football. They're not about much else. So
they know they have to prove a lot more. Mm-hmm. And so their focus is, we're not going to get bulletin board material. We're going to go out there and we're going to prove ourselves. And that's how we do it.
Win between the lines. It doesn't matter if you win Monday through Friday. You got to go win on Saturday. And I think this team is set up to do that. Let us know your score prediction over on YouTube or on social media. Wherever you like to follow us on social media, you can do so at Locked On Sooners on X, formerly known as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. here on YouTube. You can follow us. Make sure you hit the subscribe button wherever you download and listen to podcasts. Follow Jay at Unfair Sports. Go check out his channel, Unfair Sports, for more Oklahoma Sooners and college football coverage. You can follow me at John 9 Williams and read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. These Burger Time shirts are not a paid endorsement. We both just wanted to have some Burger Time shirts.
We have to support Jaron Canick.
I love burgers. I love Jaron Canick. I think Burger the dog is pretty awesome. I think it'd be really fun if Jaron Canick scored a touchdown and Burger was there in the end zone and he pulled like a dog treat out of his sock and handed it to him. I think that'd be
the old school Sharpie. I love it.
Exactly. Like that'd be super fun. And I didn't notice it until just the other day that Burger was wearing number 7, Jaron Canick's old number.
Yep.
That's kind of fun. Anyway, nice little digression. Big game from Jaron Canick this week. I just think it's in the cards. It's in the stars. Saw it written on the tarot cards, whatever you like to look at. But no, just feeling it. It's vibes. Until next time, he's Jay Smith. We will be live after the show to talk Oklahoma versus Auburn. After the game here on YouTube. So make sure you're tuned in for that as well to break down everything that happens in Oklahoma versus Auburn. Man, I'm so excited for this game. It's going to be a blast. Too. It's SEC time, guys. This is what we get ready for. All of it builds to this. He's Jay. I'm John. Boomer.
Sooner.